morning students. While listening, please listen with your headphones. Please like, share and subscribe to this Pradna PU College channel. Today we are going to start a new chapter. Chapter name is Classes and Object, and it is the 7th chapter. So what is the meaning of classes? Class means it is a collection of objects have identical properties or same behavior. Collection of objects which have identical properties and same behavior. For example, class fruit. Think that fruit is a class. Fruit is a class means its objects are apple, orange, mango. These are all the identical properties or same behavior. They all works of a fruit only. Next we have class. What it does? Class, it does or it binds together data and function. Binds together means brings the data and functions together and work on those data and functions. Next, we have definition and declaration of class. Definition and declaration of class is definition and declaration of class. Definition means the theory part. Declaration means on those theory parts what we are going to work. That is nothing but syntax or actual program what we are going to write. So, definition of class consists interface of a variable. Okay, class consists the interface of a variable, and on those variables we are going to perform an operation and perform a operation. Now see what is the meaning of variable. Variable rules we have already known that variable it should start with words or letter. It should not have blank space. It should not contain any. It should not start with a number. So those are all what? Those are all the variables rule we have studied in first year. Those variables only, those things only contain the class. So like what? For example, class student. Class student. Okay? Student is name of a class. Here you can see it starts with a letter. It does not have any blank space, right? And whenever if you want to give blank space, we can use only one special character, that is underscore. So these are all the rules. It should not start with a number. It should not start with a number. So these are the rules. A variable which we follow, that same rules only we have to follow for class only. Okay, na? Next, I already told you there are two things it contains. Class contains data members. It contains member function. Class contains data members and it also contains member function means, data member means variable. Member function means by using these variables we write a logic of a program that is called as member function. So it contains data members and member functions. Now, what is the general syntax of class? Meaning of syntax is the rules to follow while writing a class. The rules to follow while writing a class method. Okay, na? So here is the rules to be followed while writing class. If you can hear any sound, means it is industrial doing sound, not me. Okay, see here. So, syntax of class. First comes the keyword called class. Class contains the keyword called class. Then here it comes user defined name. User defined name means the user who is going to write the program, he can give his own name. For example, I will give class ABC. My wish. I am the user, I can give any name I want. But we have to remember this name. That's it. We have to remember this name. User defined name. Then comes private. In private, two things: data members and member functions. In protected, two things: data member and member function. In public, two things: data member and member functions. Private, protected, public. Just we have to close the bracket and then end it with semicolon. Always remember, end it with semicolon. See, listen here. Yesterday, or in 6th chapter, I was telling that there are three things for security. Those things are private, protected, and public. Those three things. So private means, again, private, protected, public. We will learn next. But right now, just to remember that in class we have three things: private, protected, public. We can write any of these we want. Our wish. If you want to write it in private, you write it in private. If you write it in protected, you write it in protected. If you want to write it in public, you write it in public. All the three: data numbers, member function, data numbers. Okay. So always remember, end it with semicolon. Class always ends with semicolon. Okay. Now for example, take this is syntax. Now this is example. So for example, I want to write a program on bank. Okay, I want to write a program on bank. What are the things I have? I have account number, I have bank account name, I have account type, and I have balance amount. See here, class bank. Okay, in this class, what are the things I have? I have, just now I told you, compulsory we have to give this colon, not semicolon, colon, private colon. I have account number, integer account number, semicolon. Then I have account type. What do you mean by account type? Account type means whether it is savings account or whether it is current account. Those are all the account type we have. Then again we have, whenever we write cash, here comes size. Okay. Then cash, integer cash. Again we have account balance. That is account balance. Next comes, see, next these are called data members. These are called data members. Data members means variable, whatever we declare, that is called as data members. When we write logic part of a program, that is called as member function. So void read. This is member function. Okay. Void display. This is again member function. See what we are doing here. Class. This compulsory keyword should be there. Must and should be there. Next comes user defined name. My wish, whatever name I give, it is my wish. I give my name, that is bank. Why? Because on bank statement we are writing. Next comes private. In private we can write data members, member functions both. But I have written only here data members. Even this void read, void display we can write it in private also. But we cannot access it that much easily. That's why we should not write. Only the security like password, username, those things only we have to write in private. Okay? Next, just tell. Next, see. These are called data members, these are called member functions. See here, data members, what it does, it will tell on what variable we are going to run. Member function, what it does, it uses the data members and work on those variables. Okay? This is syntax of a class. Next comes access specifiers. What is that? Access specifiers. See, just now I have told you access specifiers. There are three types of access specifiers: private, public, protected. See, private, public, protected, we all know. Okay? Private means you cannot access data members or member functions outside the class. Data members or member functions you cannot access outside the class. Here you can access data members and member functions outside class. These two very simple. Private means you cannot access. Public means you can access anywhere outside the class, inside the class, your wish. Next comes protected. Meaning of protected is you can access data member and member function outside the class. See here, same definition, just to one by giving some permission for another class. Protected. See, you can access this is also outside, you can access this is also outside. But here we have to give some permission. For example, you have 5 friends. In 5 friends, 2 are the best friends you have. You share your secret with those 2 friends, but you will not share with these 3 friends. Okay? So only you have given permission to these 2 friends only. That is what he has protected. Why? Because you know that your secret is protected with them, or your secret is safe with them. That safe thing is there, that is only protected. So these 3 difference, this is called as access specifiers. Access means what? Access means taking the information. That information from where we are taking from data members and member function only. So we have 3 access specifiers. Private. Okay. Next, member functions. Okay, what do we mean by member functions? Okay, member functions are those functions which are included in class. Here this is 1 mark definition, compulsory noted. 1 mark compulsory this is. And inside these 2 points will come. If they ask for 1 mark what is member function, you just write 1 line. Okay? If they ask what is the member function and tell the types of member function, then it will come for 5 marks. But very important question this. Every year you will get this question. 5 marks question that is. 5 marks question. There are 2 types of member functions. One is inside the class member function, another one is outside the class member function. Remember that, okay? So, first one is inside the class, second one is outside the class. Okay? So, inside the class and outside the class. What is the meaning? See here, whenever we are writing a program inside the class, we write inline functions. For example, small functions we write. If we write small functions inside the class, it is well and good. We can write bigger also, not a problem. But what happens is sometimes we have to search for errors within a class since we face the problem. That's why what we have to do is we can write outside the class also. Outside the class while writing what happens, bigger functions also you can write and errors also easily you can find. Inside the class we use it as an inline function and only smaller functions if we write with that is well and good. Okay? Next comes outside the class. You will learn the next inside the class, outside the class. Outside the class means outside the class means we are going to write the information after ending that with bracket and semicolon. We are going to write member functions or logic of a program after ending the class brackets and semicolon. Okay, na? That is what outside the class is. So there are 2 types of member functions in a class. So inside the class definition already I have told you inline functions. Next, small functions. These 2 points will come under inline function and small function. Now inside the class definition, how to write it? For example, I am going to write a program on lengthy rectangle. Okay, so here how it works? Class means already I have told you it is a next we have inside the class. So inside the class means listen here how to write the program for inside the class. Class rectangle. Okay, means I am going to write a program for rectangle. Length into breadth. Area is equal to length into breadth. So what I will do here? I will write private. In private, I will declare data members integer L B A. By A area. Area is equal to length into breadth. Area of rectangle is equal to length into breadth. Next, public. Void read. So what we are going to read here? We are going to write a logic of a program, that is function. CO enter the length and breadth. Cin L B means reading the length, reading the breadth. Now next, void calculate. Void calculate means calculation part. Area is equal to L into B. See, very nice. Small logic problem. First we read, then we calculate, then we display. Void display. See out area of rectangle is equal to A. Right? Now close the class. See, class opened here, closed here. Opened here, closed here. Whatever we are writing inside this class, that is called as inside the class. Very simple. Open here, closed here. Whatever we wrote inside these two brackets, that is called as inside the class. We wrote reading, we wrote calculation, we wrote display. This is inside the class. Now meaning of outside the class. Next is outside the class. So how to access outside the class means we have to write a class name with scope resolution operator and the function name. See here, class name, scope resolution operator. Scope resolution operator means these four dots. These four dots are called as scope resolution operator. What it does, it joins the class name and function name. Joins the class name and function name. This is how we write outside the class. This is inside the class. Next comes outside the class. Outside. Okay. Now I am going to write for outside. Same program outside. See, listen here. Public. Three functions we have to write. Void read, void calculate, void display. Okay? Now listen here. Close the class. Finish. This is outside the class. What now I am going to write? This is outside the class. Open here, close here. Last time what happened inside the class? Opened here, closed here, somewhere here. void rectangle scope resolution operator read means now these two join by using what? Scope resolution. Okay, again same, see out, enter L and B, length and breadth, C in L, B, void rectangle again, calculate, area is equal to L into B, void display. See whatever I wrote here, read, same you write here. Cal, display, I wrote this is wrong. Okay, we have to write full display. See how answer stored in A, answer stored in A, L into B calculation, answer stored in A. See how area of rectangle is equal to A, like that. See, inside the class, outside the class. Inside the class we start here, end here. Outside the class we start here only class, end here only. Then you write outside functions. Logic program of it. Logic of a program. This is compulsory for in final exam 5 marks question. So please rewind it once again and see properly and try to understand it. Okay. Next comes defining object of a class. How to define object of a class? So object of a class means, see I have already told you fruit. Its object is orange, mango, apple, right? Orange, mango, apple, like that. Those are fruit. For example, solar system. In solar system, we have sun, moon, earth, Mars, Jupiter. These are all objects. So compulsory class. If we have a class, means object should be there for that. So object must and should be there for that. So what are the objects? Objects are instance variables. Instance variable means on the spot we give some variable name that is nothing but objects. For example, rectangle is the class name, just now we have studied. I will give here R. This is object. This is object. This is class name. One class can have n number of objects like R, R1, R2, R3. How many you want, you can have the object you wish, but all should be different. Okay? So this is what object is. It is an instance variable. And next thing is, object should be defined in a main function. What do you mean by main function means? Void main. Here we write void main. Inside the void main function. In this main we have to write rectangle and like this. Okay? Next. Object should be defined or objects follow the classes. How means the object should be defined after class name. Should be defined after class name. See, first what we write is I write the class name. Then I write the object name. Correct or not? That is only. It is following the class name. Means object should be followed by class name. Meaning. Okay? This is how we create an object. Now, let us write a program. Hash include iostream dot h hash include io dot h class rectangle. Class rectangle. Now see, we will write outside the class. Okay? Private integer L B A public void read void calculate void display. Close the class. Finish. Outside the class I am writing void rectangle read cout enter length and breadth CL B. Next, void rectangle calculate area is equal to L into B. Next, void rectangle display cout area of triangle is equal to where we have the answer A. Now let's write void name. See here, last time I was telling you bottom up approach in 6th chapter. Bottom up approach means, see, this we are going to write in bottom, whereas upside we are going to write all this. From here to here it will exist. That is called as bottom up approach. Now see, we have to create an object. Rectangle R. Now, how to access the member function of a class? How to access the member function of a class? Access means bring it in and execute it. How to do that? By using dot operator. By using dot operator, or we also call it as a member access operator. Dot or member access operator. See here, I have written here R. I can call R dot. First function name is read. R dot read. It will execute the read function only till here. Next, R dot calculate. Next, it will only execute this much only. Next, R dot display. Okay? So these are the three things it will execute. At last, you have to write get ch close. This is bottom up approach. That is top down approach. Last year what you are writing programs, those are all top down approach. This year what you are going to write, these are all bottom up approach. This is how bottom up approach works. So with the dot operator, dot by using dots, we are going to access the members of a class, member functions of a class. Okay. Next comes array as member of class. What is that? Array as member of class. Array as member of class. Then again one more topic is there. Array as member of object. Two different things. Array as member of class is different thing. Array as member of object is again different thing. These two topics we will finish. Then what we are going to do? We are going to continue it in next class. But these two topics, please listen carefully and study. Okay? Array as member of class. Array as member of class means inside this class we are using arrays. Inside this class we are using arrays. Arrays I have already told you. Array is a collection of homogeneous elements. Array is a collection of homogeneous elements, comes under the same name and under the same data type. Collection of homogeneous elements comes under the same name and under the same data type. So that is what array. Already you have studied till first year by using for loop, again two-dimensional arrays by using two for loops, like that. So today, what in class also it comes the arrays. That is, we are going to learn now. Okay. Array can be used as data members as well as member functions of a class. Okay? It can be written in private, public or protected, all the three. So let's see how it works. Class array. Okay? For reading arrays, what all the rules we have? We should initialize it, then we should go till the nth term, then we should mention the array name and its size. Correct? Do you remember? Integer n, integer I, and value of array size. Okay? Yeah. Reading, read of array, void, read. Writing inside the class, read array. Oh, sorry. Void, limit. First we have to give the limit. See out, enter, limit. See in, n means till n term we have to loop or we have to give the array values. Okay? Void read. How to read arrays we already know. See out, enter, array elements for I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus no semicolon, close the bracket. In this bracket write C in A of I. I will share my notes with you. But see here how it works. First it starts with 0. See, I give the nth term as 5. I is equal to 0. 0 is less than 5. Condition true. 0 is less than 5. Condition 2 means input A of 0. Input A of 0. I give the value 5. Okay. Next again loop is not fair. I plus means I becomes 0 to 1. Okay. From 0 to 1. Next, 1 is less than 5, condition 2 means A of 1. A of 1 I give the value 10. Again I become 2 plus 2 means again 2 is less than 5 condition 2. 2 is less than 5 condition 2 means a of 2 u beauty value. Again 3 is less than 5 condition 2 a of 3 u beauty value. Again 4 is less than 5 condition 2 again a of 4 u beauty value. 5 is less than 5 condition fails. 5 is not less than 5, 5 is equal to 5. Okay, so here what happens, we have the inputs. See inputs we have. After input we have to display that same thing, void display cout array elements are for I is less than I plus plus y. I am writing this because again we have to display all the 5 elements. That's why cout a of I. Close the bracket, close the class, semicolon. Now we can access it very easily. You already know void name, clear screen, array, class name, a dot init, a dot read, a dot display, get ch, close it. A dot limit means it will execute limit function. A dot read means it will execute the read function. A dot display means it will execute the display function. Now see here arrays we are using within a class. This is class. Here we are using. That is called as array as member of class. Next comes array as member of objects. Array as member of objects. So here we can write array as an object. Array we can take it as an object. How so? Go means what we have to write? See, object means we already know. Object is instant variable which is followed by class. Array A. This is the object. For this object we have to give size. That is 10, 20, 30. That is known as array of object. Looking error. In that we are writing it inside the class. Now we are writing for object only directly array. That's why what happens is here, array is object of class class. Now listen here. Think that I have a information of a particular student. I want to execute the name of a student. That too different students. For example, I want to find 3 names. Think that I want 3 names. X is one name, Y is another name, Z is the third name. These 3 names I want to execute it just by writing once. Program I will write once, but I will execute 3 different times. How it is possible? By using object as an array. So let's write a program that you can understand how it will execute. Private. What I want to execute? I just want to execute name. So char name of the student 20. Public void read cout enter name scene dot get line name comma 20. Okay, this way. Now here I will write void display cout name C. This is what name. Enter the name, entering the name, displaying the name. But this I have written only once. I want to execute it multiple times. That is why we use the array here. How we are going to use that? We are going to close the class. Now let's start with the object. Void main. Void main clear screen. Okay. Now how to display the object? Okay, we have this small topic. On that topic, tomorrow we will start. But today just we finish this object as an array. Now listen here. Class name is what? Okay, class name student. Student std 3. Student std 3 means we can execute 3 student names. If I take here 5, we can execute 5 student names. If I take here 1, we can execute 1 student name. So I will take 3. For I is equal to 0, I is less than 3, I plus here. Object as an array means class name, object. For that object we are mentioning array. This is called as object of an array. std of I. Finish. Get ch. Finish the program. Here, how it executes? I will tell std of I dot read. Std of I dot read. Now see here what it is. Starts with the void name. Student is a class name which is matching, yes it is matching. std means it is object. We have created a new object. 3 means array means we have mentioned the size of array. Now let's come down. I is equal to 0. Start from 0. Here it is std. std. Okay. Now let's see. I is equal to 0. 0 is less than 3. Condition 2. Condition 2 means come down here. std of 0. We have to go for read. Where is read? Come here. Right here. std of 0. What we have to mention? We have to mention the read. Read means enter name. Where we are entering name? We are entering name here. Okay. I will enter here Amar. I will enter. So std of 0 I am entering the name Amar. Then what happens here? Go next step I have to display. Where I have to display? Come here. cout name means what you have to display. Displaying the name Amar. Again I will tell, listen carefully. See here. Now I plus 0 become 1. 1 is less than 3. Condition true. Condition true means come down. std of 1 dot read. std of 1 dot read means where is read? Come here. Enter name Amar. After that I will enter name here. C dot get line. Next, again what happens? I plus plus 2. 2 is less than 3, condition true. True means come down again. std of 2 dot read. Where is read? I will come here. Enter name. I am entering again your name. What I am entering? I am entering Santosh. I am entering Santosh. After this line, what is that? Display. I will come here. Name. What is the name I am going to display? Santosh. Next again I plus plus 3. 3 is less than 3. Condition fails. We have got 3 different names. Got it? If you did not got it, means go back again. Start from the theory. If you did not get it, or else call me personally. I will tell you how it works. Again, I am going to share the notes also. Not a problem. Okay? These are the object as an array topic. What is it? Topic name? Object as an object as array. This topic name. One is object as member of class. One is object as member of array. So, array is member of class. Array is member of object. These two things. Okay? Now, let's close this. And tomorrow or next time we will study next topic. What are the lesson? This lesson is still not over or finished. Only just a few topics I have covered, but whole lesson is not over. So okay, bye. Okay students, topic is already classes and object. Already our topics are array as member of class, means using an array topic inside the class. Then array as member of object. Already I have told you how to use the object as an array. Then next topic comes object as a function argument. Function means what? Function means already I have told you it is a logic of a program. Okay? That is meaning of function. Argument means what? Whenever we are writing a logic of any program, we use these brackets. In these brackets, we declare variables. These variables are called as arguments. Argument means on those variables which you are working and going to solve a problem, those are called as arguments. The variables which you are taking and working on those variables to solve a particular problem are called as arguments. Okay? So, object as function argument means instead of your variable, what we are taking as an argument, we are taking object. How to create an object? By using class name and object. By using class name and its name object. Okay? In before this, the topic I have told you, classes and objects. In that only you will come to know how to create an object. By for creating an object we need class as well as we need object. Okay na? We can create a number of objects and all. So what is the theory? A function can receive an object as function argument. Yes, it is right. This is a function. This is a function. This can receive as an argument an object. Okay na? It works on the method of call by value means whatever the value we are giving for calculation directly we can give it to the argument. Okay? Object holds the value to calculate. Okay, that is only point. Means whatever call by value means value we are giving, object it is taking the value, whatever value we have given and working on those values. That is nothing but call by value. Whatever changes made in object which affect the changes in object. Okay. Whenever we are creating an object in void name, if we do any changes over there, automatically what happens? Here the argument is there and in this also it will get affected. These are the 4 points you have to remember while working on object as function argument. Why we need this? Why we need this? That is because time will be faster. So what we need a comparison line and execution line will be to execute faster. That's why what we do, we use objects, functions, arguments and all. So example is, okay, for example take addition of two numbers. This is small program. Just for example I am writing. I am not telling that okay, by using this only, this particular method only it can work. No. While writing a bigger software, we can use some of these type of things, object as function argument, but not. For example, somewhere duplication occurs. We want to remove the duplication. That time you can work with the object as function argument. So here, just a small example. Don't take it as a like okay, with this only we are going to solve, or else it's not possible. Not like that. Okay. Addition of two numbers. Okay. So we already know hash include iostream dot h, hash include onaio dot h, right? Class example, I will take it as demo. Okay, I am giving just a demo to how to use object as a function argument. Okay, so here private a, b, sum. All three what you need, you require. Okay. Next comes here. Next I will write here public. Okay. We already know for some of two numbers we need only three things: reading, calculation, display. Reading, calculation, display. Simple. Read. What we are reading? Two numbers means a and b value. CO. Enter a and b value. Right. Scene a and b. Now what we do? We void add. So how to add? How to add means, see here what we are going to do, we are going to initialize it. Object as a function argument. See, already I have told you in bracket if you write means it is an argument. So here I am writing in bracket. Okay. How to create an object? First give the class name, then object. Any object you can create just by giving a same following a variable rule. Okay. Now what we are going to do? We are going to use this object. Sum is equal to ob dot a plus object. How we access the object? I have already told you, by using member access operator or dot operator we call it. See here, I am using dot operator. Here object I created, by using dot we can access. ob dot a plus ob dot b. Right? Finish. OB is argument. Object. Object is an argument. By using this argument, what we are doing here? I am doing the calculation. Very simple. This is the argument. Okay, next. Display the answer. Why display? What we are going to display? Sum. Right. Value of a and b. Sum. Right. Close the class. Now let's go with the void main. Void main. Here also we have to create an object. For creating object, what we have? We have the rule. For creating object, we have to take the class name. See class name here demo. Here also demo. Here also demo. Demo d1 d2. So what I will do? d1 dot read. What I am calling read function. add, what we have to do is, with that argument is also there. So in this bracket we should match it. How many arguments? One argument. So one argument we should match. So what I will do is I will take this d2 dot add d1. Here what I did, d1 we have already repeat function, means a and b value already stored in d1. Now d2 means whatever d2 dot add means add the values whatever you have got in d1. Add the values whatever you have got in d1. d2 is going to add it, and after adding d2 got the answer. Then we are going to store the answer in d2 dot display. d2 dot display. Get see here what is happening again. In d2 d1 answer is stored, and d2 in d1 a and b value is stored. d2 got the answer means again d2 dot display as writing, then gets here. See here, number of argument is 1. Same here also number of argument is 1. Function name is add. Function name is add. So automatically 100% it will execute properly. And here 10 plus 50 value what it will show is 25. Here d2 dot add, the add function will execute. Object in A value is 10, B value is 15. 10 plus 15, 25. 25 will be displayed. This is the topic of object as a function argument. Now this is the last topic for this lesson. The last topic for this lesson name is, that is the difference between structure and class. Difference between structure and class. Let's see the difference between structure and class, and then we can finish this chapter with a big smile on our face. Difference between structure and class. Structure. Okay, here it is. Class. First difference is, it starts with the keyword struct. First difference. It starts with the keyword class. Here we have to write class compulsory, here we have to write struct. See, big difference is not there. Just one important difference is there, that when it will come then I will tell. But here, this you have studied last year. This you have studied this year. So last year and this year, what is the difference? Structure is the last year concept, class is the this year concept. What is the difference? We are going to study. Okay? Here compulsory struct employee, struct student. Do you remember that? The same way here class employee, class student type. Okay? Here all data members are public by default. All data members are public by default. Public means anyone can access your information. Here by default, default means from the beginning. Here all data members and member functions are private by default. Private means here until and unless in class you give the permission, they cannot access your information. Anyone, anybody except you. You know how to write a program. You know where you have stored the information. automatically you can access, but other persons cannot access or other class cannot access. Okay? And the third difference is structure cannot be inherited. I have already told you the meaning of inheritance. Okay? Here in this inheritance is not possible. Here class can be inherited. Okay? This is the difference. Here inheritance concept is possible. Next is a structure. A structure only contains data members. A structure only contains a data member means a structure only contains a data member means here only in the structure we have to write variables like integer a, float b, char c, like that. Okay? When it comes to class, a class contains data members and member functions. Class contains data members and member functions. Class contains data members and member function means here data members means integer, float, char, whereas member function means void read, void add, void calculate, void display, those are. Last point, structure does not have hiding features. Class can have hiding features like private, public, protected. See here, in this structure, there is no hiding feature called private, public, protected. All are here public only, means anyone can use your information. Whereas when it comes to class, here three things are possible: private, public, protected. Private means only you can access. Public means all members can access. Protected means only to whom you give the authority they can only access. Here all three are possible. Here not possible. So these are the things between class and structure. Today this classes and objects lesson is over. Next chapter again we go for 8th chapter, that is tomorrow or next time we can see. Thank you for your time. I hope you like this video. I hope you will subscribe for Pratna PU College. Thank you and listen with your headphones.